Hello and welcome to RPG. I am Sovereign and today we are going to go over all the basics in this new survival game Soulmask to show you the ins and outs to hopefully help you make a decision on if you want to play the game or not. I was going to skip this game myself as there was some issues with the servers at launch and didn't really want to get into survival RPG where I am basically spending the entire time trying to log in, and I've been playing Ark Survival Ascended. However, one of you lovely people pushed me into it and I'm really glad you did, because this game is like a Valheim met up with Conan Exiles for a date, and Conan Exiles already had Myth of Empires as a side chick. So it's an amalgamation of three of my favorite survival games, actually. Plus with the sort of Native American / South American, like Aztec-y type backdrop and theme. I always love a bit of that. And I feel like it's actually the kind of game I've been looking for a little while now. As always, there will be timestamps in the description and pinned comment for each section. Make sure to like the video if you do enjoy my content and subscribe for all your survival gaming goodness. Right, so without further ado, let's get into this video and my overall impressions so far. So the story and concept for the world of Soulmask. You start out in a cage, not very original. Some poor lady gets her heart ripped out for some sacrificial needs, and then everyone gets swiftly murdered. You escape, find a special mask from a lost civilization, and just step into a random glow-in-the-dark puddle in the middle of a triangle. It's kind of like one of those filler episodes from Stargate SG-1. Although I am a massive fan of Stargate SG-1, the setup of the story for this game, at least so far, is a little lackluster for me. There's not much backbone to it, but it is a survival game and it ticks all the boxes for that aspect. So I guess first things first, let's have a look at the servers. We're going to go into the official servers and we're going to put it by players so we can see how many people are currently playing this game, and this is going to go on forever. Like, it's just going to keep loading, and there's so many people playing this game right now. Now is the right time if you want to be in while everyone's playing the game at the start. I mean, this is just the official servers. It goes on and on and on and on. There is so many people playing this game, and then you've got the private servers where it updates the server info on there, and you've got people playing on their own private servers. This is for like if they have there's not really many big servers yet for Soulmask. You can kind of find them in some places, but it doesn't really show up very much on here, at least. But there are absolutely thousands and thousands and thousands of them. Now, you can directly join to a server, or you can rent a server directly from it in the game if you want to do so. I tried to do it in the trial, though it didn't go very well. I was having a lot of issues with that stuff. Now, the official servers do have cross-server functionality added in, so you can jump from server to server. If your server does die out, you can move your tribe mates, you and your tribe mates, over to another server. That is part of the game already. It's not something they add in later on. But without further ado, let's get into the thing. Now, I did actually already record this video earlier, but I had the mic on mute, so I'd spent 35 minutes just talking, and everything just disappeared. So we're going to have to do this again. I had everything set up to do it properly to show you everything. Now I'm going to have to wing it. Hopefully it still has some cohesion. That was really loud. Oh, I still have my outcast out there from doing the thing earlier. Right, so let's talk about the map itself. This map is absolutely massive. There's a lot of places to build. There's a lot of nice places to go. There's high elevations, low elevations. There's water, there's ocean, there's everything. There's a lot of stuff here that you can build on. It's exactly like Ark Survival Ascended or Survival Evolved in that aspect. It's a big old map, and there's a lot of places to go. There's a lot of different biomes, desert, there's beaches, there's forests, forests in the west side where there's jaguars and all that kind of thing, like the tigers in. What are you doing? Why do you think it's a good idea? Right, we're gonna get some combat straight away, I guess. So I'm just gonna spin, and as you can see, when you're doing that stuff, the combat is exactly like Conan Exiles. We'll talk about more about the combat in a little while. I don't want to like jump off into different directions straight away. F11. Why are you not following me? And what? Oh, because I haven't got a bloody thing down. So with this map, it's different. It's not like a fog of war map. I'm going to stand here because the NPCs are going to respawn eventually. I'm going to show you how to tame your NPCs, or tame them. I've been playing too much Ark. How you get your Thralls, like exactly the same as Conan Exiles, except you don't tie them to a rack or make them slaves. You make them your friends, but you'll see that in a little while. To unlock the map, you need to go to the Rainforest Scouts, the Western Rainforest Scouts, and it's exactly the same as when you're actually going to be taming them. When you get a person, we're going to move away a little bit so they can respawn, and I'll show you some of the building aspects while we're waiting for that to go on. But you go, you'll see in a little while exactly what you have to do. You knock them down to 20% HP, and then you hit the E button, and you basically suck their brains out their head. You take all their ideas, because they're scouts. They're actually called scouts. So you take all the brains, all their like memories of the area out of their head, and you put it into your own head. That's kind of the power of the mask, and that's how you unlock the different sections of the map. And it takes a long time to go from one side to the other. Like, it's a long time. And while we're talking about the masks, I haven't got it turned on. Let's go into my inventory and turn the mask on. But there's different masks to start off with. You've got 3 masks at the beginning. The 3 masks, the first one, the civilization mask. That one, it gives you bonuses. Each tier you unlock when you go into the Y mask node repair. So you basically, it's damaged. You found it, it's damaged, and you have to find bits to like unlock it and repair it. Like, I've got green crystals there because I've been running around killing some stuff. And you just unlock the nodes as you go along. So you can unlock some combat end sticks so you can see further, stuff like that. Some perception enhancements so you get 10-meter boost in creatures, and it'll tell you when you like a creature will come close, so you'll get a warning rather than just some bloody jaguar coming out and eating your face. But there is a line specifically for each of them, and that's at the bottom, the mask interface module. So you get the common overclock. Every mask gets this common overclock. Then you get, with the mask that I got, the conquest mask is more geared towards damage and stealth. Like you'll have the noise absorption. So when you're running around walking, less vibration energy is given off. So animals won't be able to hear you. And the NPCs, the humans, won't be able to hear you. I'll show you in a second. I'll sneak up, but I'll do it loudly and change your weapon. You'll see an ear pop up where they're actually hearing something. So you can see there's a visual aid to help you to see if you're actually sneaking up on them properly or not. And then you have the light disturbance where it sort of helps like disturbing the light to make you give 10% more concealment so they can't seal you. You get hidden assault at some point during the time where you get a little bit further down the line. You have to be mask level 6. The mask does level up with everything that you do. So everything you do in the game, it levels your mask up, and you'll get the hidden assault. And the last one, Slayer mode, where you get life steal effect for the time that it is turned on. I am always a fan of life drinker builds in every game that I play. I do like the HP thing. I mean, I played a blood DK in PvP in World of Warcraft, for God's sake. That should say enough to how much I like that sort of thing. I'm running around with a heavy bag. Nothing's popped up there yet. Right, we'll go over the stat points, we'll go over the characters, and we'll go over the crafting, and hopefully by the time that's done, we'll be able to see, and I'll be able to show you how to tame and what the thralls or the tribe mates actually do, because they're members of your tribe. You're basically building a tribe. So let's talk about the UI at first. The UI is crisp. The UI is clean. I love it. I love every aspect of it. Like there's not the whole thing of blueprints and stuff. It's just a line of blueprints of stuff you unlock. There's a search bar so you can search for the blueprints and materials. You have the different sections so you can search for just weapons. You can search for just armor, buildings, and then other stuff like so you got bandages, etc., etc. Or common materials, thick rope, which is basically like very similar of every survival game. You have different steps and levels that you have to unlock to be able to craft the different things. Now we have the character screen. We have 5 stats on each one. You got agility, endurance, strength, physique, and perception. Perception's for your bow damage, physique's for your HP and some resilience stuff, chill resist, flame resist. Your base recovery, HP speed goes up, and your poison and radiation relieves the body more quickly. Your strength raises your greatsword and hammer damage and improves your throwing distance with your spear. You get poison resist and you get more max load. Your endurance is your stamina. You get +1 stamina for each point, and the stamina cost for sprinting and using actions is less. And then your agility is for all your other weapons. Your spear, your blade, your dual blade, your gauntlets, and the attack speed of all melee weapons. All of these are useful in some way. The only one that you can knock off if you don't like range stuff is this one over here. Each of them do have, I believe the product efficiency and product output are the only differences between these two. This one, they don't really matter that much. It's not that big of a deal unless you're putting a lot of points in there. So unless you're going to go bow, don't worry about it. It gives you a very big breakdown of all your percentages. It gives you every bit of information you possibly want on a character. This is kind of like a add-on for an MMO where you're trying to min-max your character. They go into a lot of details in their stats. You can change your name, etc. Whenever you want, please enter a remark. You can change all of that stuff. Why you change the name, I don't know why that's there, but it's there. So we have the proficiencies. Now the proficiencies themselves are the same as Myth of Empires, where the more you do something, the more you level it. And there are five stages. Your first stage, then you got 30 to 60, 60 to 90, 90 to 120. So it's not like 900 points like you have a Myth of Empires. It's a lot less, and each one you can unlock. When you unlock them, when you get to 30, you unlock one of these and you can put it in there. Have I got one unlocked? Let's go to harvest. You can harvesting speed or harvesting output, more resources, quicker resources, tool durability. If you don't want to be making more and more and more of your tools, you can click that one, or you do the stamina cost. So if you want more output, you just unlock that, and now that is set on your character, and you get an extra harvesting output bonus. And each of these all have their own ones, collecting output, etc. And they all have their own stats over here that you can stack, and you can min-max all of this stuff. Now with the weapons, it's very similar. Spear damage, and then the stamina down, resilience down during the when you do the damage, and the spear stamina cost. And that will be the same for all the weapons as well, depending on which one you want to go in for. Now you don't have to specialize in one weapon. You can unlock and level them all. It will take time. I'm on a private server right now where I've got everything up because I will be making guides for the game, and making guides on a PvP server is not really that doable. That'll be a bit of a ball ache to actually get that done. Now the last thing we got is the mastery. The more you get into it, you get different attacks and you unlock different things. You get the backstep slash. So for the dual wield one, if you're jumping back and doing an attack, you can kind of like, there's an attack that you do specifically, and there's buttons that you press to use an attack, and you unlock different levels of attacks as you're going along. And you can do that for each of the weapons. Now, Proficiency 0 is just standard brain stuff, and then you have your unlocks of first and second, third, and fourth tiers. So when it comes to unlocking these, you can equip different skills when you're unlocking them on each level, and it goes into your F button when you use it. For instance, if I unlock this one now and put this backstep slash, it will do a slash backwards, so you'll be stepping back. Depending on which angle you're going, you can go backwards and then press it again to go forwards. And that's for the daggers. And if you just have the standard one, it's just a stabby, stabby, stab, stab. So you can pick and choose. It's really min-maxy, this game. You can have your character exactly how you want it, what skills you want in there and everything like that. Oh god, there's a 4 on me. Just ran through it. Congratulations on the perfect kill. You get bonus XP and rewards. I don't know how that was perfect. It hit me. But that's basically the gist of the weapons themselves. If you play Conan Exiles, it's almost exactly the same. Almost exactly the same. There's subtle differences, but it's almost exactly the bloody same. The way that it works, the way the weapons work and everything. Spear is jabby and throwy. The sword is stunning and stamina. You got the shield, which is stuns and HP, and you got the bow, which is quick. There's a quick one and a slow one, more damage, longer range, quicker, a shorter range. The duel is fast paced. The fastest paced one are the gauntlets. These guys are like, everyone's using these in PvP right now because they can just get right up in people's faces and hold them in place and just murder them. You got a two-handed greatsword, which has the whirlwind. It's just big damage, big slow damage, and the same with the warhammer. But the warhammer has big damage with more defensive capabilities. Like you get solar protection, you get super armor status. When you use that ability, you take 50% less damage. So if there's people that want to be on the more defensive side of things and still pump out some damage and do a bit of CC, for example, you got a big knockdown when you hold down the attack, you smash them onto the floor. CC is always a good thing for a lot of different reasons in PvP and PvE. If you're fighting a boss and they're about to do a big attack and you just knock them down, there are a lot of uses for CC. The hammer's kind of like the hammer in the Great Hammer in New World, actually. It's very, very similar. So let's talk about the crafting system. The crafting system is very, very, very similar to Myth of Empires, and basically all of them. It's got the engram system, Arc, and Myth of Empires, where you unlock different parts using the points when you level. Now you don't have enough points to get everything. Once you get to, you can get all the lower level stuff, so you can have everything, and then you have to focus on specific things. If you're alone, you're going to want to focus on weapons, armor, and building, and then you want to grab certain parts like the craftsmanship and you want to go up that way. You can, I do not believe you can unlock everything as a solo player. The game's not meant to be played solo, so I don't think you can. You're supposed to be playing with your tribe mates, so there's a lot you have to unlock, and there's definitely not enough levels, I don't think, to unlock everything. I started to slow down around the bronze part where I was no longer able to grab everything, and I was like sort of zigzagging along the thing trying to get through. So basically you have to kind of pick and choose what you want to focus on and have the basics of everything else. Now the thing is that you do actually need everything to be maxed out. Now correct me if I'm wrong if you can max out everything, but I do not believe you can. I do believe there's an actual cap on what you can do, but there is a way to get around that, and we'll talk about that with the tribe mates, the NPCs, the Thralls that you can get, because they can do the crafting and building for you instead of you actually doing it. So we talked about the map, we talked about the masks. There are other masks on the map. You see these ones here? This is a mine. This is where you get ingots and stuff. There are a lot of mines down here. You got tin and copper and all that all down on this side here, and you've got more up on this side. This is copper ore as well. The Claw tribe, the Flint tribe is down this way, And this ancient pyramid is where your first boss is, where you go and kill the saber-toothed predator with the guardian that's there, and it unlocks the next stage for you to go and get the thing. So when you're unlocking your you've reached your max cap on all of your skills, you go and kill the boss and it unlocks the next stage, and you go from stage to stage. That's why it's kind of like Valheim in that respect. So let's talk about the tribe mates thralls aspect in the game, and I'm going to run over here really slowly because I'm weighed down because I haven't built anything to try and get this video done. And then we'll talk lastly about the building side of things. Do we have anything? Is there anyone here? Did she kill them both? Damn it. And I can't even get her. Well, I'm going to head over to that barbarian camp. I'll be back in 2 seconds. It's only 300 meters away, and I'll show you how you can knock out and how you make them your friend, basically. That's a bit better. I just emptied my bag. I can grab all that stuff anyway afterwards. It's not a problem. There wasn't too much stuff in there. We basically started off a new game just to have this single player game as the server I do all of the content on for Soulmask. So everything is all going to be in one place. There will be a lot of content coming out for this game. I'm gonna make guides for every aspect of it. We'll show you how to do all the different tames. I'll show you how to do all the building. I'll probably do some build videos for different areas and show you different areas where the really nice flat areas to build. There's a lot of them on this one. It's actually really good. Oh, and one other thing that they did take from Conan Exiles, let me show you right here. Is it going to do it? Yep, you can climb up cliffs and walls and people's bases and stuff when you're doing the PvP and that. There's that aspect in as well. That's why I'm not sure. Like, they have a lot of stuff that could be seen as like just taken straight from Conan Exiles. I'm not going to complain because I love that game. Right, so there's a scout, a dog, and a bulldog. Let me just do this because I showed it in the previous one when I did the recording before, and you had to start walking. Okay, good times. Bump and come to me, and that's how you grab someone over there and they don't even know. You see where the ear, I told you about the thing earlier with the stealthing, ears when they hear you change your weapon or anything like that, or when they hear you walking too fast, etc, etc. I'm going to try and kill this dog, and we're going to knock out this scout with our fists, hopefully. Come here, doggy. Bop. Right, and then we're going to put this away and we're going to punch her so we don't do too much damage. One more hit. Oh, are you kidding me? I crit her on that last punch. Oh my giddy aunt. But basically, you get them down to 20%, like, because there's no other NPCs around here. You get them down to 20% like I was just about to. I was hitting for 90, then hit for 140. And then you press E. And then you just press E, and that will do an animation where you suck the brains out of their head. And that's how you get the map unlock for in these things, by that scout, that exact one I just got there. And then when they're on the floor, you basically just get a timer, which is friendly, happy meter. And you put bandages in their inventory, and you press the bandages, E on the bandages when you have it, and put food in there. You can only feed them liquid food. You can't feed them meat or anything like that. So you have to cook up pea soups and stuff like that to give them, and that will keep their happiness up, and they will like you more. And then when they hit 500 out of 1,000, which doesn't take that long, really. Like, even on the slower rates, it doesn't take that long. Then you just press E again and it becomes your tribe mate. So when we go into the tribe mate tab, you'll have this picture come up and you'll have a list of all the guys that you've got here. Now, I picked up one earlier when I did the first version of this video, and you can actually get them to do work for you. Now, how you do that is go into the work tab, or you go into the clan tab, or you can go into the work tab the other way. You go to work, then you press plus button, and you can do several things here. You can operate a workbench. You can get them to be on a workbench. You can do wild collection. The wild collection is gathering wood. So we say, for instance, we click unnamed. You got logging, mining, and harvesting. Harvesting grabs all your stuff like your flax and fiber, your berries, your bugs, etc. Mining grabs stone and flint and metal, depending on where you put the thing for them to gather. And logging does the logs, the hardwood logs, all that kind of stuff, etc. And they do that for you in the designated area that you set. They have workshop collection where you pick up stuff from the different workstations. With work goals, you got store items where you can get them to move items and take items from an inventory from one box. Say, for instance, you name all your boxes and you say, I want to move this wood into this station. Then you just move withdraw an item from one place and you store it with the other one, which is a really nice thing. If you're nowhere near the base, it's quite nice. You got farm management for doing your farming, your growing of your crops. You got crafting table, autoplay. Basically, you just stick them on a crafting table like you would in Conan Exiles. You just stick a load of resources in that crafting bench and they'll just make what they can out of it. You have the breed and slaughter management where they look after your animals. You got the camp upkeep. Now this is a really good one because I don't always fill the resources that you need to keep the bonfire going, for example. The bonfire is exactly like it is like the tower in Myth of Empires, where you put resources in it and it stops your whole base from decaying, and on the PvP servers it will stop you from being able to be attacked during the non-attacking hours. So it is a very useful thing, and you should always keep wood in there. So you can have one always bringing in wood, and you can have one doing a camp upkeep, or you can just have all of your NPCs on camp upkeep as well, because you can do several things. So you can do camp. I haven't got a camp right now, but you can set multiple jobs. So if there's nothing for them to do with one job, they'll move on to the next job. So like if it's going on all night, say for instance you have a server up, you're not playing a single player game, or you're on PvP server, you can actually set them up so when you're asleep they'll just continuously do things until they have nothing else to do. Now I don't know what mine exploitation is yet. Like I have no idea what that means. I haven't tested that bit, so if you know, let me know down in the comments, and let everyone else know down in the comments, because I haven't touched that one yet, so I'm not too sure. Now you have the tribe menu, which is standard stuff. You've got tribe events and tribe defenses. You can create patrolling routes on the map itself. Now we can't do that right now because we haven't got anywhere to do it, but you can launch attack on barbarians, you can actively attack animals, and attack enemy is PvP, and you can edit the patrol route, you can save it, delete the route, close it, and then they will always go around that route killing anything, so there's nothing that gets into your base killing other things. So if you have a strong melee or a strong ranged tribe mate or a follower, then you can have that guy going around killing all the naughties that might try and kill you. Now the hunting tab is basically you kill as many animals as you can, it levels up, you get more slaughtering speed, you get like 10 creatures in the gallery. So the hunting the hunting gallery is when you kill certain amount of creatures, you run around killing one of each type, and then you get hunting promotions until you go all the way up here and you get a slaughtering output, and you get less noise and more concealment. Prey can be made into a specimen, damage to creatures 10%, damage to weak spot 10%. So it really helps with your PvP if you do actually do this as well. But it does take quite a while to get every single animal, and some of those animals are really hard to kill. And you get things like King's Breath where the weaker creatures won't attack you anymore and stuff like that, so it's less annoying. It's actually really cool. You have a hunting log where when you kill something, like you kill an animal, I don't know if there's any animals around here. Let's see. The search function as well, when you press Q, you can bring up things. So there's a boar over here. Let me show you how this works. You run out. What is that big thing over there? Let's see if we can kill you first. There we go. So it's down, and then you go to hunting score. So this is hunter rating outstanding. Is there something? What's that pig making bloody noises for? So hunting data. How much it weighed, the rarity of it, what gender it is, the second rating, integrity rating, spot of last hit, where I last hit it a headshot, and the damage proportion of the last hit was 16% of the damage. How much XP you got from your hunting score, and you can save that data. Now that is saved. We go back to hunting log. That boar is there saved, so it will show it, and then you can sort of, there's something that you can keep a track of, some of the bigger kills that you've done and stuff like that. That's if you enjoy collecting and things like that, then that's definitely something that you might enjoy to do over there. So you can try and find the biggest one possible, etc, etc. It's like getting dinos and breeding mutations in Ark Survival Evolved, except you're just doing a hunting log. I actually kind of like it. I haven't seen that before in any of the survival games I've ever played, to be perfectly honest. Maybe it's there somewhere. Maybe you can let me know down below if there is a game that's done it before. I've never played it, so it's kind of interesting to have something new like that. And the last section on this is actually called the trip. Now this is basically your achievements. You can hide the achievements you gain. I've gained 2 out of 91 on this playthrough itself. And then you have these tablets. These tablets are kind of like survivor notes, this explorer's notes in Ark Survival Ascended or Ark Survival Evolved, where you run around and you can find them in ruins, etc. And it basically teaches you something. And what? See, that's what I got for. Oh god, this guy's gonna hurt me. Just get stabby McStabbed. Yeah, so it's kind of like the explorer's notes where it gives you bits of information, bits of lore and stuff. It's just collectibles. Now we're going to run over to where I had that little building. I wanted to show you just a little aspect that it has here, which is really nice, so you don't have to build separate parts. Oh god, here comes more animals. Let's murder these guys. You get bleeding on them. I love. This is why I use dual wield. I use dual wield because of the bleeding. The bleeding's just really, I really do enjoy the bleeding aspect. I just pressed the wrong button. Where did I put that building? It's over here. I believe it's over here. So you can pick up and retrieve like you do in Ark now. Before that wasn't the case. You couldn't do that in Ark before. You had to destroy stuff, but now you get it. So with the building itself now, again, it's taking another leaf out of Ark Survival Ascenders books where you only have one piece and you just press Z and it jumps between the different ones. You have the slopes, which are also in here, which Ark doesn't have. They have them separately. You have wall, window, single door, double door, and then the slopes all in the one section. There's 4 different ones for the ceiling. There's a flat ceiling, a slope ceiling, corner pieces that look like proper roofs. So for those who have trouble building the ceilings and stuff like I do, in every game I've ever played, I've never been good at building bloody ceilings. They're the bane of my existence. They do have pieces that look like actual ceilings. So that will help me out a lot when I'm building my little village for all my tribe mates and all the huts and stuff when I do actually get them. So that's basically what the game is in its most basic way. I will be doing videos and guides on all the different aspects, much more in detail than I have this time around. They will be coming out quite regularly because I'm really enjoying the game, and when I really enjoy a game, I do tend to make content for it. I'm going to be sticking to the guide stuff. I'm not going to do the let's play stuff. We're going to be sticking to the guide stuff unless I want to showcase something that I'm doing. So maybe we'll do an episode on, like I'll do a video on a build that I'm doing, for example, where I'll show you what's going on with that. But I don't think I'm going to do the let's play stuff anymore. I'm going to stick to the guide, stick to what I'm good at, and that's basically what's going to happen. So in conclusion, if you like Valheim, if you like Conan Exiles, if you like Ark, if you like all of those things, then this is definitely a game you should definitely try out. You should. I'm not just saying that because of any other reason. I'm really enjoying it. There's a lot of people playing it. There's a lot of people enjoying it. Now's the time to get in it if you do want to. You don't want to wait until, as with all survival games, eventually they just die out because the population drops after everyone gets tired of being griefed by the small group of like heavy PvPers that don't work or don't do anything except for sleep and sit in their chair and wake up and start playing again. I did that for a long time in Ark. When Ark first released, we were doing 12-hour shifts, so I can't talk. I was a sweaty neckbeard at one point, so I can't really even say anything about it. But people don't like that sort of thing. People do not like getting bullied off of servers, and they end up quitting. So it's every survival game ever, it will happen. So jump in now, get it while it's good, and get it while it's hot. Hopefully I was able to help you with this video, decide whether you wanted to play it or not, and give you a little bit of a rundown of what the game is. Hope you enjoyed the video, and make sure to like and sub if you haven't already for all of your survival gaming content. Fly safe and avoid local chat scams.